a new distinction. The physical side had yet to be breached. They had waited for the right moment, and on this April night, with a symphony of rain surrounding them, they planned to pledge their love to each other solemnly and permanently, in a church, a secret marriage that his parents would never really allow. With long, ground-devouring strides, Jake carried Kate toward the altar. His steps were hollow. The room swirled with drafts from cracks around the windows. One pane was blocked by plywood. Some caring citizens attempt to keep the church from becoming the home of vagabonds and thieves. The pews sat straight and rigid at attention. Jake and Kate's only witnesses. Setting her on her feet in front of the altar, whose maple base was carved in a relief of autumn leaves, Jake cupped Kate's face in his cool, strong hands. They stared at each other, lost in their love. "Look in the pockets of my jacket," Jake urged, and Katie dug inside to discover 2 white candles, 2 tiny crystal candlesticks, a book of matches, and a Bible. Solemnly, silently, she handed the rich booty to her husband-to-be, and Jake set the candles upon the altar, striking the match and lighting the wicks with a tiny gold and blue flame. A wisp of smoke and the scent of candle wax. Kate slowly shed Jake's jacket and stood beside him in a short white satin gown, studded with seed pearls in an all-over design of rosebuds. She had saved her dimes and nickels all school year from the job she had taken at a local restaurant. College was a dim thought, distant and indistinct. Her love for Jake was bright and real, and she had searched long and hard for the perfect dress, finding it, unexpectedly, in a boutique that also sold used clothing. The dress had a history. The saleslady said it had been owned originally by a wealthy woman who had purchased it for her daughter's coming-out party. The daughter had spurned the dress, and the mother had shoved it to the back of a closet. Finally, she had rediscovered it and sold it second-hand. Kate had walked into the store the day it was draped across an antique rocker in the store's window. It still cost a small fortune. She had put down $25 to hold it and paid off the rest over time. Now, today, she wore it proudly as she stood beside Jake. His rain-soaked shoulders were broad beside hers. Glancing down at her own drenched feet, she silently bemoaned the destruction of her cream pumps. But it was worth it. "I love you," he whispered, turning toward her, taking her hands in his. "I love you more," she answered on a breath. Swallowing, Jake took a small, crumpled paper from his pocket, and Kate listened as he married her with words of love and commitment. Her own avowal came straight from the heart, not merely memorized, but felt from the soul. They stared at each other in the silence that followed, candlelight flickering eerily over their faces. She gazed at his strong jaw, the darkening of beard, the beauty of eyes a dusky blue that was almost gray. His brows were straight, his mouth unusually sensual in such a masculine countenance. A shock of hair fell over his forehead, the only boyish quality still left in Jacob Talbot's face. He kissed her, and his lips felt soft, yet strong and determined. He loved her. He loved her. She could still scarcely believe her good fortune. She was poor and struggling, and he came from wealth. But it didn't matter. He had chosen her, and she had chosen him, and the world was theirs for the taking. Outside again, the candles snuffed, their ceremony complete, they stood on the porch and listened to the rain. 4 weeks till graduation, and someday, somewhere, a real marriage, sanctioned by church and state. But today, they owned each other's